Hi friends, welcome back to the second installment of trying to clear out my gaming backlog. Seeing as Sekiro, however you want to pronounce it, tested the limits of my gaming capabilities, I decided for the sake of my limited sanity, it would be best to choose something more chill. So as I scrolled through my archive, I was looking for a game which would preferably not require much brain power and would prevent any possible rage quits. I didn't know much about Mafia Definitive Edition other than what the name implies, but I figured it couldn't be as traumatizing as the hell I'd endured in Sekiro. I figured I would shoot a few bad guys, buy out a few neighbourhoods, maybe get a couple of gals, become the big boss and grow my empire of gangsters into profitable paradise. Easy, simple, chill. Nothing too complex, nothing too heavy. Maybe spend a few hours in character customization, or run around town collecting collectibles for my treasure trove. Or maybe simply waste time blowing up a few towns and cars. Nothing much. Yet Mafia proved me wrong, and I was pleasantly surprised by how quickly the game reeled me into the world of Tommy Angelo. And rather than brain rot away, Mafia proved it was more than just another mob game. Its narrative-based gameplay and engaging story delivered a strong cinematic experience which stayed faithful to the original game's plot.
It's collection day, boys.
The open-world gameplay includes stunning visuals which recreate the 1930s in excellent historical detail. With relatable characters, the story explores their deep moral dilemmas and the weight of their choices. It captures the spirit of old-school crime, while leaving me emotionally invested in their storyline. I wasn't expecting it, but I loved it. I was obsessed. And as cringy as it sounds, I became the Mafia and the Mafia became me. Set in the 1930s, Mafia follows Tommy Angelo's rise in the Mafia. With humble roots as a cab driver in the fictional city of Lost Heaven, Tommy is inadvertently introduced to a Salieri crime family while on the job. Forced to drive Polly and Sam to safety, away from the hated Morello crew, Tommy expertly switches from average cabbie to Formula 1 race star as he manoeuvres his way through the streets. Impressed by his driving ability, mainly which was my driving skill, Tommy is offered a job, which he reluctantly accepts despite the moral cost. As time goes on, Tommy's responsibilities increase as he establishes roots within the Salieri family. From debt collection, to robbery, to bootlegging, to violence, to more violence, and of course, more violence. Embroiled in Mafia loyalty, Tommy becomes increasingly desensitized to murder and crime. He appreciates the camaraderie and loyalty of Mafia life, developing bonds with Polly and Sam as they rise through the ranks. His suits get better, the cars get cooler, he even gets a cute wife, earns respect, attracts trust. Life is going well. He evolves from reluctant participant to skilled enforcer, yet as the job becomes increasingly more demanding, he begins to bear the brunt of the psychological cost of his actions. Despite his discomfort at the unpredictability and danger of the Mafia lifestyle, Tommy remains loyal to Salieri and family. As the tensions heighten between Salieri and Morello, Tommy is forced to confront betrayal and deliver justice in the only way the Mafia knows how. Forced to deal with the brunt of internal politics and the inescapable consequence of ultimate betrayals, Tommy must confront the truth about his involvement. To continue working with the Mafia comes at great personal cost. But to leave to break the Mafia's code of loyalty, to turn against Omerta, comes at great personal risk to Tommy and his true family. I really appreciated the attention paid to Tommy's turmoil as he battles with guilt and regret at his disillusionment while living under the grip of the Mafia. And as the Salieri Empire collapsed, the downfall of key members led to fascinating confrontations. I enjoyed the chapter-like gameplay, which showcased the culmination of this conflict. and at times it felt like an interview in a true crime series as Tommy shared his perspective with Detective Norman. The characters are engaging, believable, and portrayed by the voice actors to an exceptionally high standard. Tommy's transformation from taxi driver to reluctant mobster to hardened criminal is delivered expertly. I grew to really root for Tommy. I wanted him to find his way and escape from the chains of a criminal life. And although I knew his ending would probably not be perfect, life never is, I was completely taken aback by how the story ended. However, as someone who enjoys writing in their spare time, the shock value of Tommy's demise is to be commended. Another character I grew to love despite his obvious faults and influence within the Mafia was the main boss himself, Don Salieri. His authoritative, controlling presence combined with his charismatic charm was both alluring and kinda terrifying. He was extremely convincing, foreboding, a true godfather-like figure. More than just a mob boss, he was well respected, feared, and quick to deliver a death sentence should one break the code. I grew attached to the characters' growth. They were all pretty likeable in their own ways, which made the betrayals all that more soul-destroying. But I guess, when it's in the Mafia, it's not personal, it's just business. Mafia Definitive Edition boasts a vast open world and captures the life of Lost Heaven in stunning detail. It's a perfect 1930s American city, with towering skyscrapers, dark alleyways and endless roadblocks. It's beautiful, yet full of grit, worthy of exploration, full of hidden secrets and surprises. It looks like a setting pulled from a movie. There's plenty of city life, the NPCs are great at looking somewhat busy. The traffic is realistic, although it's frustrating and annoying, just like modern day life. While the city depicts beauty and innocence of everyday life, there is an undercurrent of internal corruption. There's both glamour and violence, conflict and peace, light and dark. There's contrasts everywhere. Even the weather adds to the atmosphere and danger faced by Tommy and crew. The open world gameplay offers a lot of freedom and immersion and truly enhances the experience. Being able to explore at your own pace and the ability to toggle realistic driving controls gives a fantastic opportunity to appreciate the trip into the past. From random car chases to evading police cars, stealing cars and finding collectibles, there's lots of side quests to keep you entertained. There's plenty to experience out with the main storyline, and with a plethora of cars to use to your heart's desire, you can drive around every little nook and cranny of the city, plus you can blast the 1930s radio and your horn as loud as possible. The cops don't mind. Ultimately, the open world aspect feels like you're part of Lost Heaven rather than just a passenger in a tightly controlled narrative. You're not just playing through a story, you're living in their world. Mafia Definitive Edition provides gameplay as the name suggests. There's plenty of dramatic showdowns, epic shootouts and classic getaway car moments. It embodies the soul of what it is like to be a gangster. The beginning is a bit slow. There's a few fistfights, a small chase, stealing a few cars, burning a few cars, nothing much. It's a true representation of Tommy trying to get to grips with a simple task before being trusted with the bigger responsibilities. And with that trust comes bigger missions, more complex raids, bigger thefts, more weaponry. Every mission demands every skill Tommy has learned throughout the game, each one becoming more intense as the Mafia lifestyle unfolds. While some missions involve full-on shootouts, others require stealth. The levels are designed in a way which allows great use of the environment. You can crouch behind boxes, cars, walls, and honestly without the protection of the surroundings, I'd be dead in an instant. The NPCs have ridiculously good aim, and they can crouch and dodge just as well as you, if not better. The combat isn't bad. I like the stealth takedowns which work well in the moments where I actually manage to accomplish stealth. Sadly, those moments are kinda few and far between. A large section of the game does require driving to destinations, dropping people to and from locations, escaping from the cops and rivals, you name it. The majority of the game is spent behind the wheel. And while at times it felt more like a taxi simulator game, the driving aspect of the game can be fun and incredibly satisfying as I zoomed around town. Although my driving skill could probably be deemed questionable and potentially not road safe, I enjoyed the realistic driving mode. Trying not to break the speed limit was certainly a challenge, and I definitely encountered my share of road rage as the AI liked to test the extent of my patience. If you don't like driving around, then this will probably not be the game for you. There were a few times when I longed to be the passenger princess. It can feel a little repetitive, but without the driving aspect, I'm not sure I would have appreciated all the little details scattered around Lost Heaven. And the characters' conversations while in the driver's seat are entertaining and do help distract from the monotony. Balanced in loyalty, violence and survival, the game offers fast-paced action, navigating the highs and lows of Mafia life. Mafia Definitive Edition is an engaging remaster while still keeping the classic story-driven feel of the original. While the gameplay isn't as fast-paced or fluid as some modern open-world action games, it has a unique charm that fits perfectly with the 1930s mobster setting. The characters are interesting, the missions are varied, it's a good time killer, and I would replay it to finish all the side quests and gather collectibles. It's a wonderful experience with great themes. While it does not quite make it into my favourites list, I do now have a soft spot for this game. So if you have the time or are looking for something to do, give this game a go. It is worth experiencing. Dive into the Mafia world, but always remember where your loyalty lies.
Bastard could have at least let me finish my wine!